Pavel Nedvěd's footballing career originates in a small town called Skalna, situated in what is formerly known as Czechoslovakia. While young Nedvěd was defining himself as a promising talent, his abilities may never have been showcased to the world due to a major political hindrance. Under the rule of the communist regime, Nedvěd and many other Eastern European footballers would not be allowed to leave their nations and join footballing giants until the age of 32. Nedvěd joined non-violent demonstrations, which eventually led to the first democratic elections to take place in Czechoslovakia. He is quoted as saying, "We went with our keys in our hands, shook them to make the noise so that the regime would understand that it was time for them to go." This would have altered the careers of many aspiring professionals, capable of performing at the highest level of European football.
We'd all created a wonderful atmosphere. We attracted lots of new supporters because, at that time, the country was going through so many political and economic changes. It was the first time in history that the supporters could travel abroad, and they followed the national team all the way to Italy. And the players paid them back by performing very well indeed.
Nedvěd's career had started at Victoria Pilsen, followed by a loan spell to army-operated Dukla Prague as part of his mandatory military service. Fortunately for Nedvěd and many others, regime change brought forth the opportunity for a footballing breakthrough. As years passed, the communist regime would fall, allowing for players from the Balkan states freedom to travel across Europe and further their footballing ambitions. The change in political standings left a generation of footballers with the opportunity that they were so desperate for.
Early chance for the Czechs, 13th minute, Thomas Rosicky with the skill to Karel Poborský, but
the law dictating that only players over the age of 32 would be allowed to join foreign clubs had been eradicated, allowing for Nedvěd to break through. "It was the right moment for me, perfect for my career," said the Czech. Nedvěd played for Dukla Prague in 1998 for one season before moving to Sparta Prague the following year. He then won the Czechoslovakian Championship in the 1992-93 season, 2 Czech championships in the 1993-94 season, and in the 1994-95 season as well, and the Czech Republic Cup in the 1995-96 campaign. Nedvěd helped Sparta Prague to 3 league titles during his 4 seasons in the capital, contributing with 23 goals and 97 caps for the club. Nedvěd moved to Italian outfit Lazio for just £4 million. The transfer came following a stellar performance against Győri during Euro 96. That brought the Czech to Italy and Serie A.
Pressurised very quickly. It's the
Poborský crossed in. There's a possibility there, and a goal is given. Scored by Nedvěd. The Czechs have taken a real surprise lead there. That is a sensational start. The Italian defence pierced with such facility by the Czechs. They were looking around and wondering what on earth was happening, and suddenly there was space on the far side from Poborský's cross here. They allowed it.
The Euro campaign set the stage for Nedvěd to announce himself to the footballing world, following consistent excellence for Sparta Prague. Euro 96 saw the Czechs lose 2-0 to Germany in the group stages, with Nedvěd missing 2 good chances, along with a goal-line clearance from Bayern München defender Christian Ziegler. Then came the clash against Italy, when Nedvěd took centre stage. A goal after 4 minutes and a dazzling individual performance saw the Czechs record a famous win, and praise for Nedvěd from across the continent. A 3-3 draw with Russia would see the Czech Republic through the group stages, and having missed the country's quarter-final victory over Portugal due to suspension, Nedvěd was fresh and ready to take on the World Cup holders, France.
Down to the final 2. The nation, of course, holds the longest team. Karel Burr suspended and Deschamps injured. 2.5 years. They have a reputation for skillful attacking. Expected to do well in these championships. However, they paid the pressure on them, and that could have a liberating effect.
Referee Leslie Mottram blew his whistle for the end of extra time, and after 120 minutes, it remained 0-0 between the two nations, with Nedvěd and his compatriots holding a French side with the likes of Laurent Blanc, Lilian Thuram, Marcel Desailly and Zinedine Zidane to a goalless draw and straight to penalties. Nedvěd showed immense presence throughout the semi-final, pressuring Alain Rouge and Desailly to aid defensively and also looking to create scoring opportunities. In the pressure moments, Nedvěd stepped up and scored the Czechs' second penalty, which eventually helped them defeat France 6-5 at Old Trafford. The favourites for the Euros were defeated, while Dusan Urin's Czech side were into the final. Germany awaited Nedvěd in the Czech Republic at Wembley, following the Germans' triumph over England in the semi-finals on penalties. There was little hope for the Czech. It was ultimately an unfortunate end to the Czech Republic's Euro '96 dream, with a defeat to the Germans at Wembley.
Game over. Bierhoff. A sensational substitute. Germany are the champions of Europe.
Following his performances at Euro '96, Nedvěd attracted interest from various clubs across the continent. PSV Eindhoven had reached a verbal agreement with the Czech, but as fate would have it, Nedvěd would end up in the Bel Paese. Along with the likes of Juan Sebastian Veron and Hernan Crespo, Nedvěd was brought to Lazio to act as a jewel in the crown. However, Nedvěd had his doubts before his arrival in Rome, looking back at his career and saying that the Italian league was a major step up in quality for him. Nedved's time at Lazio would be brilliant, as the Czech amounted to a great success, winning the Scudetto in the year 2000. Under Sven-Göran Eriksson, Lazio would emerge victorious in the Coppa Italia on 2 occasions, as well as the last UEFA Cup Winners' Cup before the turn of the millennium, when Nedvěd scored the decisive goal against Mallorca in the final. Following his impressive performances over the past few years, Nedvěd had attracted more interest from Europe's elite clubs. Nedved's agent, the late great Mino Raiola, told the Czech that he had outgrown Lazio and it was time to depart from the capital. Speculation on Nedved's departure began to reach the ears of Lazio supporters, who were torn by the news of their Czech Fury hero leaving. In came Juventus. The Italian giants hoped to facilitate a move, but Mino Raiola would prove to be a sticking point in negotiations. The deal between the two clubs was complicated to negotiate, as were the talks between Raiola and Juve sporting director Luciano Moggi. Eventually the £30 million deal was finalised, and Nedvěd had another breakthrough in his career. What transpired next was a move to Juventus, who had recently parted ways with Zinedine Zidane. The Frenchman left a world-class gap of talent in Juve's midfield, a gap that I Bianconeri hoped Nedvěd could fill. The Czech's first season in Turin came with mixed results, as he managed 4 goals and 15 assists in 43 appearances under manager Marcelo Lippi. While Nedvěd performed at a satisfactory level, the loss of Zizou proved to be to the detriment of Juve's success. Despite winning the league in the 01-02 season, the top prize of European football eluded them once more, failing to reach the knockout rounds of the competition. Amidst speculation of his departure in the summer after failing to impress in his first season, Nedvěd began to put an extra effort to improve himself. Spending long sessions in the gym, Nedvěd increased his physical presence ahead of the 02-03 campaign, and it paid dividends, especially in Europe.
Would get on the board inside 10 minutes with nice passing. João Capdevila across to Diego Tristan with the header to the left corner, and it's 1-0 Deportivo. 2 minutes later, Capdevila again down the left flank. He'll put the ball into the area. This time it's Roy Mackay as he would beat Gianluigi Buffon. 2-0 Depor, but Juventus would get one back in the 38th. Alessandro Birindelli cuts from the left and has a go. What a beautiful goal that was to make it 2-1. Another look, Birindelli's ball that stuns Juanmi Garcia, and it's 2-1 at the half. Second half, 57th minute, Marco Di Vaio would receive the ball. He'll put on the fake. then roll it to Pavel Nedvěd.
An equaliser by Nedvěd in a 2-2 draw away to Deportivo La Coruña sealed and aided Juventus in the progression out of the group stages of the Champions League. What would follow in the quarter-final against Barcelona would be one of the most memorable goals of his career.
Да, его в финал чемпионата мира. Теперь года второй номер. Главный тренер Висенте Дель Боске атакует Ювентус Трезеге. Карлос семенит. Будет удар. Удар поворотом. Мимо цели. И слава богу, потому что на первых минутах запускать гол статус идет. Недвед. Удар поворотом. Мимо. Недвед справа. Подача. Штрафную. Дель Пьеро. Выше цели. Штрафной площадке Недвед. Подача на дальний угол вратарской. Дель Пьеро скидывает мяч головой. Гол! Гол! Давид Трезеге 1-0. Браво! И что здесь? И все. Пьеро. Можно бить уже. Удар. Гол. Гол 2-0. Браво! Недвед выходит 1-1. Удар. Гол! Гол! Это победа!
In the semi-final against Los Blancos, Nedvěd would net the goal that saw Juve through to the final of the Champions League, giving Juventus a 4-1 aggregate lead in the tie. Then when all looked set for Nedvěd to play in the final against AC Milan, tragedy struck. Nedvěd managed to foul Steve McManaman on the halfway line in an attempt to win the ball. Referee Uroš Mayer showed a yellow to Nedvěd, thus ruling him out of the final at Old Trafford.
И вот сейчас мы остаемся в эфире для того, чтобы не упустить этого момента, как эти люди, только что сражавшиеся как враги.
What resulted was a dour performance from I Bianconeri, as Milan eventually won via a penalty shootout in Manchester and sealed their 6th European Cup. Despite the sad end to the season, Nedvěd finished the 02-03 campaign with 14 goals and 17 assists, along with the Supercoppa Italia, the Scudetto, the Italian Player of the Year award, and of course, the Ballon d'Or.